Hey everybody, Zach Fernandez 92 here back with another Movie Memories Monday. It is late. Kind of forgot about this. I had to take care of a few things, to be honest, and very tired from work. But I just want to give you a heads up of what was going on. I kind of forgot about this. So I watched this movie for the first time, and so this movie is 22 years old, and I remember seeing it. I don't think I seen it in theaters. I don't think I did anyway. But I was 10 years old when it came out in theaters, and I remember seeing it a few times, but I don't remember much of it. I do remember a decent amount, but not a lot. So when I watched it for the first time, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. I watched it for the first time in like about maybe 18 to 20 years or something. And I've had this on VHS for about maybe probably at least about 8 or so years or maybe. But it's Big Ideas, Jonah, a VeggieTales movie. Now, this is a one I found at a thrift store or Goodwill, can't remember which, for about 50 cents to $1. It's beaten up pretty badly a bit, but it's still in its original case. It has a really nice holographic cover. And the thing I've always liked about the classic VeggieTales before the modern, because it seems like the newer VeggieTales isn't close to Jesus like you would really want them to be, because that's how they were back then. The creators focused the show about Jesus big time, and that's what I liked about them growing up. They initially came out in 93 or 4, I believe, and I was only a year old or 2 years old by that point when they came out, depending which year. I can't remember if it's 93 or 94, but I remember growing up with VeggieTales personally, and they're still fun to watch even to this day. I rewatched a lot of them again recently, and I definitely remember some of them. Most of them I've rewatched again are really good, but I'll talk to them about those ones when I do an eventual Movie Members Monday about them. But this movie was about obviously Jonah from the Bible who gets eaten by a whale, swallowed up by a whale. But pretty much though, before that even starts up in this specific movie, Bob, the tomato, and then I forgot the asparagus's name, the dad of Junior. I can't remember the dad's name offhand. I don't know how I forgot, but like I said, I haven't really watched VeggieTales in a long time, so I'm watching them again recently. Brought back good memories, memorable stuff, but sometimes I just forget names. People are going to tell me in the comments below, I bet. But anyways, it was pretty much about Junior and I forgot her name. The carrot girl, I forgot her name offhand. I really feel blah right now with my head. I can't think. But anyway, they're arguing. No, the carrot girl was pretty much kind of rubbing in her Junior's face that she has a ticket to go see a singer. And it's like pretty much them and a few other kids were there, like the Peas. I think they're the Peas. Yeah, two of the Peas. And trying to remember what else. Who was in the car with them? I'm pretty sure there's one more, but offhand I can't remember. Yeah. Let's see. Spot tomato, Larry the cucumber, blah blah blah. My eyes are kind of blinded by the light. But yeah, here's the back of the VHS case. There is a CD in this. Well, first I'll show you the tape. So this is a tape I found at a thrift store or Goodwill for a few dollars. But I really like this movie. I keep getting distracted, sorry. But yeah, this movie was really well done. Focused about Jesus very, very well. Because, Jesus is God, so he's also the Son of God. But this is set, I believe Jonah is in the Old Testament. So Jonah, was pretty much, can't even talk today at all. A messenger for God. He sent messages to many, many other kingdoms and towns, around, what was it, Egypt? Like Egypt and many, many other areas from the, around Egypt, I should say. And God sent him the message to tell Nineveh that to stop what they're doing, stop the violence, the thievery, and to follow to follow God. And Jonah didn't want to do that. So Jonah did everything he could to try to get away, but God intervened, and pretty much Jonah got eaten by the whale. Prayed to God saying, why is this happening? figured out that he has to fulfill God's purpose to send the message to Nineveh. And so 3 days later, the whale spat him back out on Nineveh, so that way he can deliver the message. That's pretty much what the movie's really about. They obviously, for VeggieTales, added humor to it, and did make it very funny. I really like. At first, I didn't think I would get used to this character because I thought he would at first be annoying. Because I remember him not being my favorite character growing up, but he's actually funnier than I remember. And I forgot his. I think it's like Khalil is the little worm or caterpillar. I think it's like a fusion of both. Like his mother was a caterpillar, his father was a worm. Then he says, but he's all right with that now. I'm going to assume that's like just a random gag, but I do think it is funny, and I think his character is really well done. And I always forget his name. The asparagus this is specific asparagus, not Junior's dad, a different character. But I remember his name being Alfred in the Larry Boy specials. But he plays Jonah in this special, and there's the pirates who don't do anything. There's Larry, Mr. Lunt. I can't remember off his name offhand, but he's a good character too. But this movie was really well done. It's pretty much like the pirates who don't do anything are telling Bob, Junior, and Junior's dad what was going on with Jonah, and while they're at this looks like fish restaurant. Really, and that's pretty much how the story kind of progressed for that. And at the end, the singer that they were initially going to actually arrives there and offers them a ride to the concert and all that. Really, really good movie. I don't do this movie justice in terms of speaking of it, but I say, but definitely go see it if you can. You can find it probably fairly cheap. I don't think the tape is really worth a ton, even with the CD. I don't think. I'd have to double check, but I don't think it's really worth a ton. But if I do, I'm probably going to find a better conditioned one because this one didn't work fully well. Most of my tapes that I have in my collection usually work just fine, unless it's our personal ones that have been used many times, or I just get bad luck finding a tape that works. But from the thrift store, all those tapes have worked perfectly fine. This is not one of them. I've had this for many, many years. But this movie, really, really well done. Animation's really good. I still think it holds up over 20 years later. And this is the CD that it comes with. Classic Veggie Songs sampler. Let's see, it comes with... My eyes are kind of blurred out a bit. VeggieTales theme song, Joshua fought the Battle of Jericho, I Could Be Your Friend, and Modern Major General. Oh, it's on that side. So on the side here is where the disc comes out. And then this is what it looks like offhand. Let me see if I get this in frame for you. But it's a really nice little CD. And I do think this movie's really worth it. I do think if you haven't seen it, go watch it, go find it if you can, but find it on VHS or on DVD, original releases. Because I don't know, since now it's not owned fully by the original creators anymore, because I think Universal Studios is the one I think who owns them now. But the original creators bought the rights back in a way, but they aren't fully in creative ownership. This makes sense. They don't do as much what they should be doing like they did back then. Back then they focused on God more, which is great. Nowadays it seems like they're trying to do the modern stuff and what they call modern Christianity, which I don't approve of, and neither does God. God doesn't change. It says in the Bible that he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So that's why I'm kind of upset that the modern VeggieTales have been changing. I know back in the early 2000s, after this movie released, they sold the rights to another company. They took away the Christian part without the original owners knowing that they were going to do that. And then they bought them back years later, trying to reboot it, and it failed. And they tried rebooting it again a few years ago, and I'm not sure how well it's doing, but it's just not the same. I think pretty much the VeggieTales is pretty much good only in its past anyway. From its original beginnings all the way I think up to like this movie. Were really well done. But I definitely recommend the old ones because they focus on God more. And very clean, very funny, very creative, and always has the true message of what it's supposed to be about. And I definitely recommend seeing them if you have not seen them, especially the classics and this movie. See you next time, and God bless.